on! Break the wall! Break down the walls! For those about to rock and watch the world, baby, you know you're Judas and I'm your priest. Baby, what I got.
If we ran Nintendo.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 82 of If We Ran Nintendo. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by the greatest co-host in all of podcasting, Sean Capri. What is up, Sean?
Break those mother-loving walls down, Bobby!
How you like that one? How you like that one? That's how we're starting this one off.
Jacked up and ready to go. We fool everybody in the chat before we go live, and then we drop this thing. And by we, I mean all of you. This is just as much a surprise for me as it is everybody in the chat, dude. This is incredible.
This was
you must feel real good in the boobies right now.
Oh, you know what, man? I had chills while that thing was playing because I was just like, this was a little in the making. This was so essentially what happened is this intro, all this. Does not happen without Patreon. Does not happen without Patreon. Right. Because I took the money that they gave me and I was like, I need to do something. And I gave it to Adam Leonard. And I'm like, hey man, I'm going to commission you to do some artwork. And this is what he came up with. Well, we came up with. Him and I collaborated a little bit. And I was like, hey man, this is what I want. I'm like, I would like to have, like, maybe me and Sean in a boardroom or whatever, like a Nintendo boardroom with, like, a cork board behind us and all these wacky ideas and just, whatever. And I had a couple ideas. Another one was you and I in a boardroom just playing video games and everybody mad at us, like all the members, like, mad at us because we're not taking it serious. Nice. And so that was the second one that I basically had. And then I was just like... So he sends me the first piece, right, which is just the picture of you and I, and it says, If We Ran Nintendo. He sent me, like, three versions of it. And I was like, the only thing I need you to change, and I hate people that do this, but I had to be that guy. I'm like, there's just one thing I need you to change. Yeah, okay, the title's wrong. Don't, good Lord, this woman. This is horrible. All right, so anyway.
Nice going.
I know, I'm all hyped up and now it's derailed because I put the wrong title in there. Okay, anyway. So, I was like, can you change the Nintendo to all red? And he was like, absolutely, no big deal. But I hate when people do that. Like when people are like, when you bust your butt to do something and then someone's like, yeah, well, maybe you could do this better. Like this isn't good enough. So I was like, okay. That's what I would like. And then he just blew me out of the water with the next bit because I thought that was it. I thought, hey, that's the logo. That's basically what he's giving me. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking like, well, that's not really what we discussed. But you know what? He's the expert. I'm gonna let him go with it. Like if that's what he feels is best, there's a reason for it. So I'm gonna let him go. And then he sends me the next one, and I'm like, floored. Like, holy cow, dude. Like, you just... Not only did he knock it out the park, man, he just, like, grabbed all the players and drug them around the field, too. Like, he just crushed it. Like, I looked at this picture. I'm looking at the picture now, and I'm like...
Dude, you could stare at it for 5 minutes and just pick out new things that you didn't notice before.
Dude, oh my god, man. Like, the Yoshi and the Link. Like, I didn't pick them up at first. Tom Nook, and then, like, it's just amazing. The best thing, though. So, yesterday, before I went live with Joe after work, I showed him the thing. I was like, I want to show you this. Because I did it for a few people. Because I wanted to get feelers to see how they felt about the intro. You know what I mean? Like, so it pulls back. First thing, I can hear him laughing. He goes, stop making Kirby games. And he loses it. Because he knows that's something that I would say. So it's just like, and it's so good, man. There's so many details. Perfect. I love that, like, in front of you on the drawing, it's like the Animal Crossing thing. Because him and I
should put it up. I don't know. Can you put the image up for people to see? Because we're sitting in front.
Well, it's the overlay.
No, I know it's behind us. Never mind. I don't mean to throw it off.
No, the overlay of the show.
No, I know, but you're talking. Some details are hidden
some
by
of
us.
them, yeah, some are behind it. But
that's what I'm saying. Because sometimes you could just put up the picture and then we kind of talk about it.
Well, it is anyway. So
I didn't mean to throw you off.
I know you're throwing me off. So anyway, the idea was I threw everything out the window when I got this image. And I was like, I'm making a new overlay. I'm doing everything. Like, I went full bore with this whole thing. Adam, man, I can't thank him enough for the work he did. Like, dude, amazing. Amazing. And, like, every time I show it to somebody, they're floored. Like, they're just like, oh my God, dude, this thing is phenomenal.
Dude, you know what the coolest thing is? Is I changed this in my profile pic as you did for Twitter and Facebook. Mm-hmm. And you know what the common thread is every time somebody sees it is, I want one.
Yeah.
I want one.
Yeah. That's awesome.
This, like, he charges, but he doesn't charge a lot.
No.
But, like, if you guys want this, like, please hit him up because it is so great. Yeah. And, like, okay, can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Do I have a long neck?
A little bit.
Yeah, is my neck like when you think of me? You think like, you know what?
Well, you're perked up. You're perked up. It is kind of long. Listen,
I'm
wondering, I was catching flack for the gray hair, and I was like, I do have gray hair. I mean, I have a little bit of brown, but it's whatever. I'll be there in a year or two.
How do you do that?
Huh?
You look cute. I just want to like grab your little nose. I just want to like
That's a big nose, man. That's a Paul's nose. That's my dad's nose. Lot. So anyway, I love it, man.
My chin kind of sticks out there. It's real prominent and sharp. And I got that little like 5 o'clock shadow that Joseph Moran was talking about a little while ago.
I love it. Dude.
I like that a lot, man.
I love it. It's.
I need to like go on a diet and exercise like this cartoon does because
look at
really
me
fit. He's got
look at me. I'm like that's 20 years ago, Bobby. I
don't know. Your face isn't that round. You're. I don't know.
It's fine. It looks good. I'm not going to knock it.
I'm trying really hard to make sure I don't offend anybody.
No,
here, but like,
I love it.
You're a handsome guy.
I love it. I think it's gorgeous. I think that picture is
phenomenal. So good, man.
My mom,
I got my coffee.
My mom gave it the seal of approval because my mom saw it and she's like, "I love it. It looks so good." That's all I need. When your mother looks at it and goes, he nailed it. Then you got it. It's good. So,
that's right.
Anyway, that's where we are with that. I have
the little push pins with the string in between too. It's just like so elaborate, man. I just love, like, what does it even mean? I'd like to know if there's any like meaning behind the connection of and Yoshi or whatever.
The amazing thing is like he took a conversation I had for 2 seconds with him.
Yeah, man.
And he like, boom, blew it away. Like totally blew it away. I can't even begin to craziness. It's like he's been thinking about doing this for a while, and then I just plugged him in and said go.
Yeah, it's like that. Just how quickly he did it.
Yeah. Oh, it was fast. I didn't expect to have it this quick. So now I'm like, hey man, I'd like to get one for the Nintendo PlayStation podcast now.
There it is.
And he's like, okay, but he's got the baby coming, so I might not get it right away.
So does Toby.
Yeah.
Just be all baby themed.
This is true. No.
Papa Bobby and all his little boys.
Joe Critic, he did this for me for money. That's what he does. He does this stuff. So absolutely, this is basically
at the Art of Adam L.
Yes,
at the Art of Adam L.
So anyway, real quick, let's kick this episode off like we do each and every episode with our shout outs.
Mother loving geek outs, Bobby. Please start with your geek out. I can't wait to hear what you are geeking out about. Look at that! Oh my God, that's amazing!
For those that didn't watch Nintendo Talk Live or Nintendo Talk today, I unboxed this a short while ago.
Oh no! Don't put them away. Keep them right there.
I can't. I tried earlier, but I can't. It doesn't. The camera, the way the angle is, it doesn't work.
Can you just hold it up just for a second?
I could just.
Do you remember?
There you go.
Do you remember when the Olympics were in Russia and there was that big deal that there's the whole toilet conspiracy or the whole controversy around the toilets in Russia? How they didn't have stalls, so you basically had to go number 2 in front of other people.
Yeah.
Do you remember this at all? It was a thing.
I didn't care.
So anyway. In all my Photoshop glory, this is how I use my artistic skills versus the Art of Adam L.
Yeah.
I took a picture of the toilets and then I put Mario in that little kind of half squat right over top of it. And I put Sonic on the other side doing also a half squat, and I went Mario, Sonic do Russian Olympics or whatever it was. God. That was
You're a mess.
I'm gonna dig that up. I'm gonna tweet that out maybe a little bit later.
So real quick, let's hit the room like we always do. Joel Brooks, what is up? Joe Critic, how are you, man? Brendan Myers, Aaron Daughtry, Matthew Knight, Jason Lacey. Man, we got so many amazing people here right now. Nebby, Wendy, Koopa Pie Koopa. How are you doing? Hope you're having a wonderful evening tonight. My wife Tony came in and told me that the title was wrong on the podcast, on the show. I was too worried about the subject matter. I messed it up. Jonathan Brown, the gamer. What is up, man? Sparvy, it is not bad that you're just coming in at episode 82. It's okay. You're all right. Don't worry about it. Brandon Myers, I don't know if I hit him already. Ram, how are you? So that's the room, and let's jump into some shout outs. I don't know if I'm okay in the image. I tried to make it so that way. Yeah, I'm good. We're good. We got the Tanuki Mario there, so we're good to go. Shout outs. First one, Riboflavins, what's up? First one, shout out, David Moore. Man, my dude, thank you so much. I have been talking about taking Nintendo Talk Live to the podcast format. We met up this weekend, Friday night. He wound up making me spend more money. I wound up buying, why do you have a price tag on your shirt?
I wasn't going to bring it up until later. I told you I was going to bring this up, but
whatever.
I just ask you about it in a second.
Okay, good lord.
We need to delay the Todd Oxford timeout for Todd.
Yeah, Todd Oxford timeout's not going to happen today. We're running roughshod today.
No topics today.
Yeah, exactly. No topics. We're going to have a conversation. Anyway, so the idea is that we wound up getting hooked up, and he gets me to buy another amiibo from Japan yet again. I'm importing Box Boy. For those that didn't listen to the Nintendo PlayStation podcast today, like, it's a thing. Like, whenever Dave and I get on the phone or Skype, I start ordering amiibo from around the country. So it's nuts. I showed him my amiibo display, and he lost it. He was like, "Are you kidding me?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "That is amazing. I love it."
I'm not surprised.
So that's a thing. Go ahead. You got any shout outs?
Okay, I had one, but I need to do a quick shout out to the Nintendo PlayStation podcast, because once again, you are way too flippin' mean to Toby.
Oh,
I need you to stop it.
You stop.
Will you give the man a rest?
No.
He's about to be a father. He's got enough to worry about. He doesn't need Bobby.
I'm setting him up for life. I'm giving him life. No, I'm giving him life lessons on how it's going to be a father. You're going to get.
Oh, so he's got to deal with talking back and stubborn.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, and
I don't buy it. You know what? He's gonna nip all that in the bud. He's never gonna have to worry about it in a second, because he's gonna be a proper Englishman. Toby Jr. Toby J is what people call him for short. Tobage, if you're really close to him. Bobby. You just leave the kid alone, man. He's got a lot to worry about. He's got a lot on his mind.
It's a wonderful thing.
And
man.
I like him a lot.
It's a wonderful thing.
More seriously, I love you, Toby. Be nice to him. More seriously, I think that I speak on on your behalf as well. The shout out goes to our good friend Greg Caldwell, who is he was in the hospital. It sounds like he's doing well enough, at least to update people on the social media. So if you're listening, Greg, we are all with you. You've been with us for so long. Yeah. I hope you have a very quick and speedy recovery. So very serious. I just wanted to give you a high five, Greg, and
absolutely.
Just want you to know that we are all with you, man.
Absolutely.
That's
I agree.
The mother loving shout out.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, Bobby, I need you brought something up. I need your opinion. I need the help of the chat too, and then maybe we'll get into the Todd Oxtra timeout for topics or whatever. This shirt,
can't believe that
I don't know if you guys can notice. All right, it's a Mario Kart shirt.
Yeah. That's awesome.
This thing is awesome.
Yeah, why's it got the tags and stuff on?
I feel like it's too tight. I feel like it's a little.
Well, stand up.
I left on.
Stand up.
Well, no, I got my gut hanging out and everything.
Well, we can't tell if it's too tight if you're not standing up.
You want me to turn around for you? It feels tight. It feels.
I don't know
if this is doing the tightness justice.
Please.
But
you're fine.
I hope that the stream didn't just go. Maybe it's just me.
The stream didn't go, did it?
I'm just.
Oh, what the hell?
The stream went offline.
Okay.
Sorry for stealing your joke. All right. I don't think that this made it to the stream. And if it goes out again, I'm never standing up ever again, Bobby. So here we go. All right. So I feel like this is too tight. I feel like that's kind of like skin and gut. You see this like dad bod happening right here. But yeah, man, you got I don't know what version of Mario Kart this is supposed to be. Like, it looks like this is Super Mario Kart, but you've got Wario over here. That's not canonical. Is that the only problem? Why did they mess that up? Oh no, Daisy's right there too. What the hell is she doing there? Who made this shirt? This is definitely going back. It's too tight, and it's got Wario on it and Daisy.
Anyway.
I gotta talk to my wife.
Anyway.
Chelsea picked this up for me. It's very awesome. But I saw it I was getting changed out of my work clothes, and I'm like, what shirt am I going to wear for if you're at Nintendo? Got to show Bobby a shirt. And I spotted this one. I figured I hadn't tried it on yet. Better leave tags on. You just never know, Bobby. You
like Rybo said, it can't be Super if it has the bike on it.
I didn't even notice. I can't see it past my man boobs, Bobby. I'm breastfeeding here. I'm a new dad.
You're fine. Just relax. Just relax.
You know what I had for dinner tonight? I had a poutine from McDonald's. And I had 6-piece chicken McNuggets.
The whole oh my god, dude, everything went bad with this
Everything's fine.
Well, because now I lost my the show notes are gone from the
Well, remember when we were saying off top of the show when people knew we were listening?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Whatever. It is what it is. So
we don't know what we're doing.
So we got a couple. At least. We have a couple of topics we could hit on tonight.
Mm-hmm. Hey, topic. You want to like call it out? Cat calling. We're gonna hit on the topics.
We're gonna
flirt with the topic.
We're gonna flirt with the topics. We got a couple.
Hit on them.
And I think I want to hit a few. I'm gonna start out of order than what's actually here on the board, and I want to go first. I can't
you out of order.
I want to go with first. If we ran Nintendo, would we tackle political/social themes in our games? So essentially, this came out this week because somebody spoke to Reggie and asked Reggie about this very thing. And Reggie said, no, that's not our intentions to do at all. My question to you is, how do you feel about this? Should Nintendo tackle some social things? Should they not? Like, where do you go with this?
I think this is one places that Nintendo can truly own is that steer 100% clear. There's actually a lot of these weird kind of things happening where companies are saying that they're steering clear of the political and social commentary, but then they kind of make a game about Far Cry 5, I think, is an example that people are throwing around. Mm-hmm. Ubisoft saying we don't make games to make these political statements, but then they make a game that is very current, I guess, and very political in nature. I think the other weird thing too that is happening right now is Wolfenstein somehow is now a political game. So I don't know if that's where this is also coming from, but because now they're leaning into like killing Nazis.
But the thing of it is,
Nazis are a thing now.
But the thing of it is Wolfenstein, that's been the premise for a long time now. And
right.
It's
so
not
what I'm saying
new,
is that there's Nintendo owns games and IP that could never, ever, ever, because they were never based. It's not even just that history repeats itself. None of these things could ever be misconstrued to be political. Like, it would be a real stretch maybe for like Animal Crossing on like maybe you should fend for yourself because you just can't rely on science and technology to feed us because global warming and blah blah blah. Like, that's about as close as it gets, man, is Animal Crossing.
Well,
I think 100% get away from it.
My thing is this, is I guess they could, if they did potentially want to dive into this realm, I mean, you'd have to pick a game to go with it and make it happen. And then where is that game? Is it?
But to what end?
I'm just saying. Like, I'm just saying. I'm just talking out loud. I know. So I'm just saying.
But I'm trying to maybe there is an answer to that. I'm not saying that there is no answer.
Is it Metroid? Is it Fire Emblem? I think maybe Fire Emblem might be the way to make it happen if you want to have it. But here's my thing. And I posted this in a message board today, and I was like, look, I play video games to get away from all the nonsense that's going on in the world today. I don't want to sit down and have my video games speak to me in those terms. If it so happens that something comes in, then I'm fine with that. But my thing is like, when this is my feeling, and I'm not saying this is true or this is how I'm right or wrong, but I feel like when they take a woman and they shoehorn her into the lead, I feel like you're doing it for the wrong reasons. If it happens naturally, like Samus was the lead of that game, and it wasn't like Nintendo was like, we're going to do this because it's the cool thing to do, and it'll get like a spotlight shined on it. They did it because they felt like the woman role fit that perfectly.
Well, they did it because they were copying Alien.
Exactly, to that degree. So But then when you look at games like Wolfenstein wasn't built to say as a social message to be like, we hate Nazis. Socialstein was built, and then you had some idiots rise up from the Donald Trump election that decided, okay, now we're going to be Nazis, and we're going to start, I mean, they've always been there, but they feel like they have a voice now. So,
right, because Nazis are as universally known to be evil as vampires and monsters and everything else. Like they're almost as cartoonish.
Yeah.
That's the silly thing.
I mean, I remember playing Bionic Commando back in the day, and Adolf Hitler was the final like boss enemy and stuff. Like it's nuts to think that like we're looking at this now and trying to put a label on it and be like, hey, this is, you know, what it is. And it's not. It's like it's the same thing.
But it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to at least remind ourselves that Nazis aren't cartoons, that they're not so outlandish that they could never happen. Like if there's any good that comes out of this ridiculousness, it's that the reminder that Nazis were very real.
Yes.
And they're very messed up.
Yeah.
And we should be wary for their return. Like we shouldn't be thinking these things about like zombies and monsters. We shouldn't be leery of their return. Those are made up. But maybe I'm just trying to shine a little positivity in like what I think is just a total ridiculous knee-jerk internet reaction, which is Wolfenstein is a political statement now. It's not, but if you're going to glean anything, it's that those Nazis are still bad, made up or not, and they were not. They're very, very bad, Bobby.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The other reason for Nintendo not to is like for a number of reasons, but the core of it is that Nintendo is for kids.
Yeah.
Like that's where like we all have our nostalgia for Nintendo growing up. We want to make sure that remains a safe place for kids. And I not to say that political conversations aren't safe for kids, but it's just not really what they're in it for. Like they want just wholesome entertainment that even parents don't even have to worry about them reading into one way or another.
Yeah. And my thing is this, like now we're going to shift now to the social side of things.
You know, everybody left since we started talking politics.
Whatever. So we're shifting to the social side of things, right? And when you shift to the social side, you have to look at South Park and that whole difficulty meter getting slapped on based upon the color of the character. And the one thing I could say that I do say about this is I don't feel like this is a bad thing. I feel like it's what South Park does. South Park takes the issues and all that and slams them in your face. And it's like, here it is. You may not want to look at it, but this is what it is. And so when I look at that, I go, I definitely don't want that from a Nintendo game. I feel like that's a mistake. Just because I feel like that's not what Nintendo is. Nintendo is like Disney. That'd be like saying like, okay, when we go to Disney World, we're going to have stuff slapped upon us to be the way it is. Like, and that's not the way it is. It's more of just an atmosphere to kind of escape reality. And that's what I view video games as. I view video games as an escape from reality, a way for me to get away from all the nonsense that I'm seeing on television to go do my thing. And that's what I want out of video games. Now, if they blur the lines a little bit, I'm not upset about that. I don't have an issue with that. But at the same time, I'm not like consumed by it. Like I don't have to be like, this has to have it in. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Yeah. The thing is that you can't like, and a company especially can't just start doing this. This is something that has to be within the core of its DNA. And there's no reason, as I talked about before with the political stuff, like there's not any real reason for Nintendo to take this stance. Like even something that can be construed as being fairly innocent, such as like satire, like the way that that The Simpsons does social commentary, not nearly as in your face as South Park, but The Simpsons is written by like Harvard graduates. Like The Simpsons, it has always been very, very smart, but also subtle in its delivery. South Park, also written by very smart people, but way more in your face in its delivery. Nintendo doesn't come close to either one of those. No. Like it doesn't really touch on any of it, and for that reason, I say stay the course. Even the more I think of it, like what would be the payoff? Like they already differentiate themselves. That would be the only other reason is if there was a requirement or this initiative for Nintendo to differentiate themselves in their games and the message that they're delivering with their games from other game makers. But nobody makes games like Nintendo already.
Yeah, exactly.
So it kind of like removes that as like being even an ounce of a reason to chase after this.
Yeah.
That's why I like that we have multi-platforms too. Like, as much as we all argue for our console of choice, this allows for Nintendo to be what it is, and even across the third parties that make games for all the systems, that's really up to them to deliver what message it is. But for Nintendo, it's so far from the core of family values and just wholesome fun and things like that, that there's no reason to chase after this. I think it's the hotness right now. I think for people who have been delivering those messages for quite some time, they're getting very good at it. And so to change course, you don't do that. What's going on in the chat here that's making you giggle?
Rogers Basis came in and he's like, the only mature game I want from Nintendo is a dating sim with the Fire Emblem girls.
Dude, you and I are on the same page. Are you kidding me?
Here comes Sean with the Camilla.
She's your sister, dude.
yeah. We see how that worked out. Sean was like,
wait a minute, isn't it already a dating sim?
Pretty much. Although you got to play the Japanese version where they allow the petting and stuff. Then it's a different,
Oh my god, that would be. Maybe I roll back everything that I'm saying. Nintendo, yes. What about Pokemon like adolescence?
Oh, good. Stop. Gabe doing creepy. Okay, so I think we're in agreement that if we ran Nintendo, we would not go into the realm of like.
Otherwise, no. I want adult Fire Emblem.
No, you're not. We're not going there. Okay, next topic. So if we ran Nintendo, this came out this week. This came out this week when I actually talked about it earlier today on Nintendo Talk in my video, and Mr. Aonuma was in an interview, and someone asked him about doing a remake of Zelda 2. Basically, it's coming off of like, hey, you guys just did Samus 2 remake. Are you guys interested at all in doing that for Zelda 2? So, if we ran Nintendo, would we remake Zelda 2? Essentially, what happened, where this is coming from, is in an interview, Mr. Aonuma was asked that question. They basically said, like, hey, Nintendo just remade Samus Returns, Metroid 2, not too long ago. Would you guys ever consider doing Zelda 2? Since that was kind of the one that was off-shot and a little different than your original Zelda games and such. And he basically was like, I don't know, do you want that? Maybe we'll see. Something along those lines. So my question to you is, Zelda 2, in a lot of worlds, is considered the black sheep. The one that's not as critically acclaimed as others. I personally love it. You know what I mean? But I know there's a lot of people out there that don't enjoy that one, that feel like that's, A, super hard, coming off of the original Zelda, and B, just not what they want. So my question to you, Sean, is, well, first off, you've never even played the game, I'm assuming.
Not yet.
Okay. Now, and I'm not talking that one. I'm not talking A Link to the Past. I'm talking Zelda 2.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
You probably could say most Zelda games.
Yeah, because you haven't played a lot of them. So the question is would we do it or not? So me personally, like, real quick, we'll go back a little bit. So when I was growing up, I remember Nintendo showing off Zelda 2 and me getting really excited because the only images we saw was a poster that showed up in the mail, a picture of Link, and it was a side-scrolling type Link, and I was like, this looks crazy. Like, the Moblins, they look like Moblins. Like, they just, it was amazing. It just was really cool, really well done. So it always, to me, was a moment that I remember. And I remember being a kid being like, man, I don't know that I can actually beat this game. Like, this isn't Zelda that I know. This is totally different. This is going to be hard. I don't know. And I remember one moment going like, well,
wait, maybe the first one was hard. How much harder could it be?
Oh, it's harder. Trust me, it's harder.
First one is balls hard.
Yeah, but the first one is hard because it's a new experience. The second one is hard because it's hard. Like, it's just, it's a much harder game.
When you put it that way, it makes sense.
Yeah. The first one's just, you don't really know where you're going. It's a new type of game, all that stuff. This one is hard because they just ramped up the difficulty. Like, it just became very difficult. Plus, there was RPG elements, and it was a totally different thing. So my thing is this, is like, growing up, I remember hitting that moment where I was just like, man, I don't know that I want to play this. This is going to be super hard for me, and it scares me. I remember having that same feeling of Breath of the Wild. Like, man, this scares me. I don't know where to go, what to do, what's going to happen. Like, it made me nervous going into Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Which made me excited because I remembered how much I loved Zelda 2 as a kid, and I was like, you know what, this might be the same thing. And I did. I loved it. I loved Breath of the Wild. So, my question to you is, and it doesn't necessarily have to be just Zelda, but how do you feel about remaking some of these older games? Revamping the graphics, maybe changing some of the game up a little bit. Like, what's your take on all that?
It seems to me, even just from a business perspective, that might actually be one of the smartest ways to do sort of the remake thing that's happening. Like, there's a lot of ways that we can revisit old games and kind of draw upon that nostalgia that happens with Nintendo. What's up, Jacob? So, like, this is, like, I think that we've seen a little bit of that with Samus Returns. Or the Return of Samus, I can't remember because the back of my Amiibo box had a typo on it. And we destroyed the packaging because we wanted those toys out, Bobby. Did you know that? That was a thing?
No.
That it refers to the new Metroid game, and it refers to the wrong one on the North American packaging.
Really?
The back of the Metroid Amiibo, yeah, it referred, like, what's the one that just came out? It was called Samus Returns?
Yeah.
So it says, to celebrate the launch of the Return of Samus. It refers to the Game Boy game.
Oh.
It refers to the wrong one.
I didn't realize that.
So there's this... Nah, because your packaging is in the garbage because we are all stupid and we don't like to keep things in the package, and now it's gone forever.
And it's worth money.
And it's a misprint.
Yeah, it's worth a lot of money.
You know comics. It's a misprint.
Yeah,
Anyways,
yeah.
This 3DS game that came out, I think, is exactly a way to do that, is bring these games back, be pretty faithful. I didn't get to play Fire Emblem. That was another thing that they just did. They redid the second Fire Emblem game.
Yeah.
So I guess if we ran Nintendo, we would just do what Nintendo's doing right now, and just bring everything over to the Switch.
Well, that's partly. I would start bringing stuff to the Switch. That's
Is that kind of what you mean? I feel like maybe you're meaning something a little bit more advanced.
No, I'm meaning, like, would we start to do what they're doing? I mean, obviously, I feel like the way to move it is to the Switch. I feel like anything that's being ported over to the 3DS at this point, sadly, is a lost cause. I just don't feel like the money's there. I feel like people have left. They've left the yard, and they're going elsewhere for this stuff. They're not a fan of the 3DS, and they want to play it on the Switch.
It seems like they're nailing it, though, right now, because it seems to me like when I think of... we're talking remakes, basically.
Yes.
Like, there's a difference between remasters and remakes,
Yes.
and it seems like people are very nervous about what's going to happen with the Final Fantasy VII remake, and rightfully so. But with these two, like with Metroid and with Fire Emblem, it seems like things are working out exactly like...
Well, Metroid didn't really move that well. Metroid didn't do that well.
But it's 3DS, man. Like, that's a whole other conversation.
I know, that's another conversation altogether.
I hope it's not similar to, but it seems almost like FIFA going to the Switch of like, we'll see if you want another Metroid game, and they kind of put out, I don't know, they just kind of threw a gutter ball a little bit. It was never going to hit the pins.
Now, it's in terms of the Metroid game, I think it's a phenomenal game, and I think they did. I think they did a wonderful job with it. So I'm not.
So is Nintendo like writing the book right now on remakes? I feel like maybe they are, but it's not even getting noticed because it's on the 3DS.
Yes, and that's the thing exactly. I feel like they're hitting it on all cylinders. They're doing the right thing. Now, let's look at real quick. Let's look at A Link Between Worlds. That was supposed to be a Link to the Past remake, and because the map is the map. That's it.
Yeah.
But when Mr. Aonuma got in there, he was like, "Man, we're putting all this work into it. Let's just make it a new game," and that's what they did. So I would, but for me, I feel like you go back, you redo, Zelda 2, and Adventures of the Adventure of Link. But my question to you too is this: would you push the graphics? Update them, or would you just basically take it from 8-bit era to 16-bit era with pixel art?
No, so I'll give you an example of the game that I'm thinking of that I would want remade is the original Yoshi's Island.
Okay.
I would want them to, because I feel like we want that game and we want like Yoshi, whatever Yoshi game that we're getting to be that. But I do want pretty much that game, just maybe modernized in a way. and visuals not 16-bit. I would almost want them. I think we talked about this before in one of the early if we ran Nintendo's of how do we do Mario and what art styles do we do with Mario. I want like water paints.
Yeah.
Or something like
Oh,
that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's very just like handmade, right? Like I would want that. Or yeah.
We actually referred to that in the in a future Zelda game. Like we were like, hey, we would like a full watercolor painting.
And
full watercolor painting. Because we were looking at it compared to Wind Waker and all that stuff, and we were like, let's make it a full watercolor painting. So absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I and that's the thing. Like when I looked at this Metroid
2D HD.
Yeah.
Joel Brooks. Yeah, man.
Yeah. That's the thing.
2D HD. I love that that's a thing everybody hates even saying. I'm here.
Yeah, you froze up for a second.
You froze a little bit.
I think we both did. No, I like that. I like that idea. I like that 2D HD. So that's my feeling. My feeling is like, okay, you know, I like what they're doing. I like the 2.5D type thing. Like, I like that idea of, like, this is how we're going to do this. This is the way we're going to go with it and kind of push that way.
2D HD.
2D HD, yes.
Did you say not 2.5D?
No, 2D HD.
Right.
Like, I would up, because that game, because of it does have a top-down, it is a top-down game, but it's also a side-scrolling game. And I feel like you can't pull that off. You can't do that in a 2.5D or anything like that. Well, maybe when you go side-scrolling, you can go 2.5D. But I feel like the top-down needs to kind of stay top-down-esque. So maybe do a mix. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's maybe what they... Maybe that's the way to go, is to go top-down. Because I think if you go top-down, like Link Between Worlds, I think that's not going to really suit it well. I think you overhaul the graphics on the top down, because that is garbage. Seriously. It is really bad. I would honestly, if it was me, and this is what the show's all about, I would redo the whole overworld. And I would make it feel more like the original Zelda, just open world. You can go where you want. There is no panning of screens and all that. Just make it more, because... And I would probably include the combat in the over
That's
screens.
a really cool.
And then the only time I would do the side is when you go into a cave or when you go into a dungeon or something like that. Because that's the one thing that felt weird about it. Like, that's what took me out of the Zelda aspect, is when I was walking across the field and this monster hit me and I panned and switched to a side-scrolling screen, and then I would get off the side and it would go back to the overworld. So to me, make the overworld an open world, but make it look a little bit more like Link to the Past, something of that nature. Like, just ramp the graphics up, make them look good, and then we'll just push through. You know what I mean? And then the side-scrolling, maybe go 2.5D. Add some depth to it. Because that's the one thing I loved about Metroid. You know, did you play this Metroid or no?
Nope.
Okay, so the thing that I loved about this Metroid was you would be playing, and there would be stuff coming from the background forward. And that was phenomenal. That was amazing to see. So I'm not necessarily saying I want that aspect, but to see stuff happening in the background would be awesome. That would be really cool. And maybe even do something similar like Donkey Kong Country. Like, where you can go back to those backer layers and fight, but also come forward. Like, that would be kind of cool, too. Where you can kind of float around a little bit with that type of stuff.
in the newer Donkey Kong games.
Yes, the new Donkey Kong.
Did they ever do that in like 2 or 3? I never played Donkey Kong Country 2 or 3.
No. That never happened.
That was the newer ones.
That was strictly for Donkey Kong Country Returns and Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, where you kind of bounce back and forth between the two. That would be awesome. You know, similar. And I wouldn't. At first, my first thought was like Mutant Muds. That's what happens in Mutant. But that's too weird. That's like you're hitting a turbo or you're hitting a launcher to take you back and then forward. I wouldn't go that extreme. And I wouldn't even go to extreme where you get launched back. Maybe you just kind of go through a door and there's a walkway and it kind of pushes you back on the back layer or something. I don't know. I don't really know how they could make it work to look natural, but it has to look natural. Can't have that weird feel to it. So,
yeah.
Okay.
And then give Link a voice.
I would. People get upset when you bring that up. People get really upset.
And I'm like, I'll drop this right at the very end.
Yeah, people get really upset when you talk about Link and the voice and all that stuff.
Give him your voice. Make him from Jersey.
Hey, you. No, that wouldn't work. That wouldn't work at all. That'd be horrible.
Hot.
Yeah. We'll just wait till your son grows up and we'll be like, all right, Link, it's time to talk.
I can't wait to introduce Link.
He'll be like,
that would be amazing.
He'll be like, Princess A, and then there it goes again.
He'll be like, this is
clockwork.
Yeah, I can't. I'm gonna teach him whenever Chelsea gives him a hard time. I'll be like, hey, Link, say this. Well, excuse me, princess.
If you do that, dude, that would be the best. That would be phenomenal.
It'll be. Damn it!
I'm not worried. Just keep going. Just keep going. It'll catch up.
It'll hit the audio.
It'll catch up. I don't care. Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing I look at. I look at all these different little aspects and just push through, and I think it'll work. But so we could. I don't know whether we go to the last topic. There's 12 minutes left. I don't know whether we go to the last topic, or we just chill out for a little bit because we haven't done that in a while. Chill? Let's just chill. We haven't done that in a while. I'm sorry, Todd Oxtra. You can turn the podcast off at this point. We're just gonna chill. We're just gonna chill out. So, what have you been playing on your Switch lately? Anything?
Dude, I haven't been picking it up.
Why?
Actually, I played Splatoon. I played
Splatfest. You did play Splatfest
because Team Vampires, the correct team, won. No, I don't know what the heck you were thinking. You genuinely picked this one too. Like before, we were kind of playing the odds and we're trying to pick the team so that we could get great matches and stuff. But you genuinely liked werewolves.
No. That's not true. That is not true. I said so. What happened? No.
Sounds like you're backtracking.
No. What happened?
Somebody in the chat backed me up on this. I'm fairly certain you were making fun of vampires. You think vampires are the worst. You're a vampire racist.
I think both of them were stupid, honestly. So what happened was myself, Jason Lacey, Joseph Moran were like, "Hey guys, what are we gonna play?" So I said,
"Werewolves are the best."
No, I said to Jason Lacey, I said,
with your parade.
Shut up. I said to Jason Lacey, I said, let's take the lesser of our friend. Like, look at your friends list in your app. Whatever one is leading the votes, we go the opposite way. This way, we know we're the underdogs, and we'll play in matches all along. That's all I wanted to play. Both of us looked, and we were both of them showed that vampires was leading, and I was like, I'm done. I'm good. I'm going to go this way. That's what happened.
Was that it?
That's what happened.
All right. Well, still, either way, you picked the wrong team.
So
I picked the right team.
So I picked,
and I can't wait to hear from Europe for them to settle this great toilet paper debate.
It already got done, didn't it? I thought it was
back. Was it the same? Was it the same weekend?
No, it was the weekend before.
And it's finished, and we haven't talked about this.
I don't know why. You're the only one who cares about it. Nobody else cares.
No, Aaron can tell us.
Nobody else cares.
When you catch up, let me know what happened with the toilet paper debate. I need to know. I almost took a picture of my toilet paper, but you know what happened? The thing that holds it, like the holder, is just a little dusty. Like when it's almost like brake dust on your tires. You get that black powder.
I don't even put it on.
It's similar like that. You just leave it off. You just like grab it out of the bag.
Yeah. I don't put it on.
It's Bobby comes home from Costco. He rips open the bag of like 44 rolls of toilet paper and he just dumps it across the floor.
No. I've always
a roll at a time.
I've always
grabbed the roll.
I grab it. I grab the roll and I just pull it and I rip it and I put the roll back down and then I go to town.
All right. Well, I'm waiting for this chat. Everybody says it was 2 weeks ago, but nobody's telling me who won. Why can't somebody?
I told you back roll.
Did you say that?
Yes. You're too busy rambling and flipping out. You won't listen to me. You're too busy going on and on about that stupid.
Can we celebrate this for a second?
No, there's nothing to celebrate.
Chelsea, the back roll won.
She don't care.
Guys, I'm like spot on with this Splatfest stuff.
Nobody cares.
I know that I called that was the thing that should happen, and then it wins, and then vampires. I mean, come on. Should I just retire now, Bobby? Is that what should happen?
Oh my God. Anyway, you are. You're
This is
ridiculous.
amazing. What a good news. I don't know how I didn't know this.
I don't know how you
I
didn't
can't
know
believe
either.
one. Back roll's my favorite. Okay, so that's what I'm playing on my Switch. I'm very tempted by Stardew Valley.
I've been putting a
want
lot
to get
of
it for
time.
Chelsea.
I've been putting a lot of time with Stardew Valley. Like every morning, I play.
know.
Every night, I play.
Oh. We were
Marissa,
talking about Animal Crossing, and that kind of like...
Marissa got a hold of me today.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so she was like, I think she thought that like I wanted it to happen like right away, and she was like, weekends aren't that good for me, and then she's like, dropping bombs and stuff about how she's like, she's going to be doing the Rocket League tournament this weekend, and I was like, yeah, I guess this weekend's out too. So we might be doing something in the next few days. I'm just waiting for her to get back to me. So that'd be kind of cool. Because I'm excited to talk to her about Stardew Valley, because I like that game.
Yeah.
I've been enjoying it, but I need some wisdom. I need some help, man. And I feel like she could.
I love that.
She could be the way.
She was the one who I thought of when you're trying to like, what am I doing? What am I supposed to do? And when she was on We the Gamer Cast, she was up until 4 a.m. the night before playing Valley. So I was like, well, clearly this is the right person. But I'm tempted by this, man. I want to, like, this is the type of game that's what I want out of my Switch right now.
They're saying,
just kind of
saying front one. So I was wrong.
So you baited me too. And loading like an idiot for something that didn't actually happen.
That is even awesome. That is the best. That is the best.
Am I just gonna play this? Oh, Yono's out.
That game.
Yono.
That game annoys me because you know why? Because you have to use the Joy-Cons.
Oh, right. They have to patch it or something. There's some glitch or something.
It's so annoying, dude.
Look at the news section is actually really good on this.
Yeah.
Like the news section is actually the eShop.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
You got your best sellers here. You've got your role playing games. You got your what's new, your arcade stuff. This is the reason I haven't even turned it on, because like I see something like that and I'm like, why don't I just buy all of it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to be very good about.
Oh
my
man, I've been
this.
buying games like crazy.
With the Xbox coming up, I know what show this is, but we have 2 of these things in this house, man. That's twice as many as I thought we would end up with after the reveal in January.
They added an on sale section too, didn't they?
Yes, I just saw somebody tweet that out. What is up, Joseph Moran?
Joseph Moran, what is up, Mr. Badbit? Yeah, so it's kind of...
I got to play Octopath Traveler. You know what? It occurred to me, Bobby? And I don't think that I crapped on you about this, but I don't want to play ARMS anymore. Dave Moore hit me up and he's like, "Hey, let's play some games." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, man, I'm up for anything. I've got most of the multiplayer games."
Yeah.
It's like, "Let's play ARMS," and I'm like, and I had this like, reaction, but not in a good way. Like I pooped a little bit and I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't ready.
It's not. Part of me wants to go back. I just can't get myself up for it at all. So we'll see.
My face is so awesome.
Yeah.
The way that's frozen. So I don't know, man. I'm sort of just on a bit of a break trying to get my other games going until Mario drops. But there's just a whole... I want to play Golf Story. I want to play Stardew Valley. God, there's too many to even name, Bobby. What are you playing?
Oh, man, I'm playing Stardew Valley. I'm playing Golf Story. I'm playing Splatoon, obviously. I'm playing... what's the one with the floods? Flames in the Floods?
Flame in the Floods.
Flame in the Floods. That's a really good game. Dude, I got so many games. It's not even funny. I didn't even start a bunch of them.
Oh, I didn't even play SteamWorld Dig 2 yet.
You didn't?
No, I didn't pick it up. I haven't finished Rabbids yet. Like that's the thing, man. Like I have so many games I'm not finishing. So I could wait for sales. So basically, like Nintendo games, I'm buying day one because they'll never go on sale.
Yeah.
Games on sale section. Let's see what is. So there's 2 options you have. You have the Bridge that I've never heard of, and then Infinite Mini Golf. Sorry.
Yeah.
Is actually a good price. It's $20 in Canada, down to $14.
Not bad.
Those are the 2 games that are on sale. Good thing you added a whole tab to that.
Yeah.
Flame of the Flood. Wolverblade looks cool.
Yeah, but it's nice that they have that tab. Because hopefully that means we're going to start getting more.
That would be good.
You know what I mean?
What's this? Oh, the 88 Heroes, 98 Heroes edition. That's hilarious.
So Yono I haven't started yet. Because I'm a little annoyed about the Joy-Con situation. But I'm going to try that. Oxenfree is another one I got.
Did you get it?
Yeah, I've been messing with that a
You
little
should stream
bit.
it. You should stream that
I started to last week when me and Tony were playing. Someone said,
Oxenfree?
Yeah, someone's like, oh, stream Oxenfree. And I was like, yeah. Tomorrow I think we're going to stream Mario Rabbids.
Oh, nice. I haven't seen co-op on that yet.
Yeah, that's why I want to check it out and try it.
That'd be fun.
Dude, I got so many games, dude. But you know who's got the most games?
Joe.
Holy cow, man. Dude. This kid just picks up his Switch and just like flip. I'm like, dude, what is wrong with you? You got so many games, man.
It's very tempting. Like, you could actually make that work in a way, but if you don't play any of the games, then it doesn't make any sense. Especially buying day one.
Yeah.
Like, I'll wait. But then I'm not saying that my way is better, but in my stupid brain, it seems to make more sense. But like, what I end up doing is waiting for things to go on sale. I buy 14 games.
Yeah.
I save a boatload of cash, but like, I don't play 14 games.
No.
I play 13 or 12, maybe. Yeah. It's not like I get a sale on time, Bobby. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean.
You know, it's not like I just like get a BOGO on time.
Yeah. I agree. I wish. That'd be awesome. Maybe that's something we could do. So that is all.
Maybe there's a Groupon. Maybe there's a Groupon for time.
Maybe. So that is all. Thank you guys for watching tonight. I know it's a little difficult to watch. It's going to be a pain to edit this one. But I'll make do. We'll make it happen. Thank you guys for following us, for supporting us, for doing everything you guys do. It means the world to us. We are so supportive and we're supportive. We're appreciative. That's what I meant to say.
Especially our executive producers on patreon.com/make us better, like our platinum executive producer, Cory Hicks. I did not forget, Bobby. I don't know if you wanted this in here, but it's happening.
Okay.
Cory Hicks, our gold executive producer, Sheldon Benedict, who apparently supports everybody and buys everything. And you're amazing, Sheldon. What you do for us in this whole entire community blows my mind. It doesn't make any sense how you do it, but you do it. And I thank you so much for being a gold executive producer, and all our executive producers, Bobby. You know them: Nick from Next Level Games, Joel Brooks, James Johnson, Dr. Doom, Jesse Armstrong, Glauco Schaffer, David Ray, Joey Hehir, Mike Drummie, and Brendan Myers. Hi, Brendan, King of the Pirates, and Bobby.
Yes.
Did you know that we have a new patron?
I did. Did you know this? I did know that.
Apparently, we're saying his name wrong.
Yeah, I think we.
So I'm gonna give it I'm gonna try it like this. Aaron Doherty. Okay, I'm actually gonna be serious. I'm gonna give it a try. Aaron Doherty.
I think that's what it is. Like Shannon Doherty.
Doherty. Oh, man.
So that is all. Peace out, Preston.
Thank you, Aaron. Bye, Preston. Bye, guys.